Hello. Well, hello everybody. What's up, what's up, what's up? Happy Sunday. Welcome to the channel. We got neuro bass. We got all the kicks and snares that will punch you in the face. Welcome to the channel, everybody. My name is Alckemy, if you don't know who I am or you're catching this as a VOD. We're going to be doing some sound design today, maybe some beat making here in a bit, but before we do anything, I just put out a brand new course on my website, and it is this project file right here, which covers all things drum related, and I wanted to talk about that for a bit just before we get started doing the stuff that I do, because, well, this is my job. So hopefully I don't talk your ear off. So this has been a long time making, not the actual process of filming it because it came together pretty quickly, but me waiting for the devices to catch up for Bitwig. And now that we have the Filter Plus, as well as the Clipper, which is called Over, you can make fantastic drums inside of Bitwig. And in this course that I recently just put out, I teach you how to do it both through a means of sound design, from like pure synthesis of using sine waves and noise and stuff, and then also going back through and teaching you how to make drums from essentially anything. So these are some drums that we've made, and every single one of these components were made from this sound right here. And this particular project, where is it? Well, let me open this up. Yeah, so all of the drums in this that I'm getting ready to show you were made from this. Oops. Turn all this stuff off. So, yeah, we made this from that sound. Maybe. Is there a mute going on? No. And the cool thing is that all of this was made through Bitwig first party effects, as you can see here at the bottom. And so that's why I'm so excited about it, because a lot of this is knowledge that I've accumulated from taking lessons from people that I've studied under. A lot of it has been through me just sitting around and messing with stuff for hours and hours and hours. Comes with all the racks, comes with just about everything that you need to get up and going to make stuff like this. And I'm proud of it, man, because yeah, it's like a decade of drum stuff on this. Yeah, so you'll be seeing a little bit of that today. I won't be explaining all of the stuff that I'm doing, but I kind of just wanted to show you all, you know, what I've been working on, especially since I haven't been doing a whole lot of videos lately. But one other cool thing is that I included the live stream of In This Economy, which was the collab that I did with G-Space. And what's cool about this track, or the stream anyways, is that most of the drums that I made was me resampling a piano loop that he had into the kicks and the snares, hey subvids, and all that stuff. So if you like the drums in this track, then I basically have the entire thing from scratch, which sounds like this. Hey, Aslo, what's up, bro? What's up, subvids? If I didn't say hi. Thanks, Bitwig. What up, Pretend? Yeah, so unfortunately I didn't include this project file, but that's because the track isn't done. But the process of how we got from here now all the way until or from the beginning, the stems that I got up until here, like the majority of these sounds are made from that piano loop. So I thought that would be a really cool inclusion to be able to give you all some context about how I make drums out of pretty much anything. And yeah, I'm excited to share that knowledge with you all, along with like the drum processing stuff that people like Cage and Chi have shown me. But I've really made sure to try to internalize it and like express this through my own means. And if you look at how they do drums, it's actually still very different than the way that I do them. So I wanted to make it very apparent that I'm not biting off of them, that this is a labor of love through all of my own stuff. So yeah, it's on sale right now. I just put it up. It's on alckemy.com. If anybody cops anything off of my website, if it's not too much trouble, please leave a review, whether it be through here or this video that I'm going to upload here in a bit, or any of the other demo videos that I have, just because the hardest part about this job is just getting word out of things that I do and things that I have to offer. And if you think the quality is shit, then don't share it or leave a negative review. But if it's things that you think are useful and things that you have gotten benefit from, then that's where I'm reaching out to you. So anyways, let's go ahead and start with something new. What I want to open up with is maybe perhaps working on some kind of modular or semi-modular or something. I think the reason being is that I want to kind of return to quote unquote like experimental sounds and see if I can utilize that to find different hooks or something. And what will be cool through this process is you'll likely see me do some of the tricks that I'll be showing you through the course of making drums and getting into that process, and hopefully building a connection of why this workflow that I have is so valuable, but also like a means of about you all being like, ah, shit, okay, I can do that. So I think that phase plan is the easiest thing. Let's go ahead and maybe start with a wavetable. And to be honest with you, the only thing that I have on this parameter is probably two things. One is we're going to have a clipper at the end, and one is going to be that we are going to have a final neuro chain, quote unquote. We might not even do neuro stuff, but I have this little shelf right here that is pretty much makes everything mono compatible, and I just have it there, so that makes it a little bit easier to work with. Aside from that, how's everybody doing? How are you all? What's going on? If y'all don't follow Subvids, go follow him. I believe that he's an Ableton guy, makes cool stuff. I watch everybody on YouTube, and I stalk you. No, my big thing is I'm always looking at what people are doing and trying to learn myself and just kind of figure out like what kinds of things I'm missing through my own work. And so sometimes it's nice to be able to like not be the only person that's doing shit. Not that I am, but you know what I mean. Also, speaking of, Virtual Riot was making music with AI earlier, so now I expect everybody to be on the AI craze of, oh, Virtual Riot making music with AI. Yeah, AI is the shit, because that's the kind of power he holds. No shade to Virtual Riot. I think that he's absolutely incredible, but just with the way that people tend to follow things and whatnot, full expectation. Cool, so we're doing a little bit of that. Let's go ahead and grab a notch right here, so that way we can, I'm going to start from here, and we can create a little bit of movement through here, which is kind of neat. I don't really know what this is going to sound like, but I don't really care. I'm going to kind of try to not be inhibited by stuff. There we go. So now hopefully we've got a little bit of vowel movement in this. All right, sick. Let's start with some table distortion. Turn the DC filter off. Sick. I was in the Virtual Riot stream, not because of the AI, but the damn guy is a workflow monster. Yeah, I don't blame you. That's why I was saying, like, no shade to him, because, like, the guy is just just does lots of really cool stuff. I will say that I think that his latest racks are a little bit overkill for what he was trying to do with like the randomization and stuff. Because I'm somebody that went down that path. But other than that, like, yeah, I'm like, how do you have time for this? How do you how do you do this? So we'll just set this here, and that way we're gonna kind of notch out. I'm gonna grab an LFO table again and create some shapes with this by holding Command. And we're just gonna kind of create something kind of like this. That'll be fine. Yeah. Okay, so we've got some kind of stepper here, and then we're going to do the same thing. Started from the bottom, now I'm right here. Nope. Yes. Drag that down. Oh, no, no, no. We need this to be something different. Hey, Scorpio, long time to see. Virtual Ride is like the Jacob Collier of music production. He's a genius. Some AI plugins help, but AI in itself is concerning. I'm not really too concerned about it, to be honest. The reason being is that it just, there's some shit that you'll see even me do today that you just can't replicate, you know? The little design choices, the little nuances and stuff, like they just don't really, yeah, you just can't really get that kind of stuff out of it. You know what I mean? There we go. Now, okay. I'm gonna go done, and then I'm gonna set this crossfade here. Let's try linear. What does that look like? Yeah. Let's try spectral. Whoa! What the fuck? Holy shit. That could be actually cool. Let's just keep it. I don't see AI being an issue. I think people are overreacting because it's more useful. I mean, some things in AI are pretty nuts, for sure. But for the most part, like I've already made videos about it and whatnot, I don't think it's that big of a deal. At least not yet. Maybe in 5 years, you know, but as of now, we're okay. Let's go Gregorian Phrygian. This is way too fast. Sorry, this is taking so long to set up. Let's go plus 12. And now we should have one kind of sequence. Or in 2 or 1. Wait, can you all see what I'm doing? Okay, yeah. I was just making sure that the screen was there. I could see issues down the road, but not many right now. Or 2 or 1 or 10. I mean, yeah, but like live your life. You know what I mean? Live your life. That's my advice. Let's go ahead and set this up in a snap heap rack. I'm also going to throw a transient shaper on here. And part of the reason why is because since we have all of this, kind of just let it do its thing, which is kind of nice. I'm going to set this to bipolar. And I would like this to slow down. Slow down. There we go. The reason why is because now we can kind of move these around and do different stuff in order to make different sounds. So we're going to open this up with a delay. Set this on short. And then now we're just going to kind of make stuff, which is the fun part. Welcome to the fun part. So one thing that I am going to do is whenever this, what is this attached to? The frequency filter? Okay. So one thing that I'm going to do that I'm going to be mindful of is when this goes up, this is going to go down. And the reason why is because it can get kind of shrieky with different kinds of jumps and stuff. And so being mindful about that can help you not have like insane sounds that hurt your ears, because that's really the goal of this for me, is to try not to kill us with the ears. Cool, let's go ahead and play with some stuff like this. Actually don't want that to be at 100%, so maybe some detuning. We can play with some convolution reverb. Then we can play with some of this guy, kind of like so. Some more distortion. Maybe you set this on saturation. And what I'm doing right now, if anybody's wondering, is I am just setting stuff up to... No, I don't want that. I'm just setting stuff up to kind of mess around and play with different... Oops, I don't want that either. Different settings while I send various sources through here. So we can open this guy up and then go back to here. Hello. That's fine. Come on. Oh, wrong one. Okay. Wait, is it? What's going on here? Yeah, it was the wrong one. I was like, what? What is a man? So we've got some bandpass filtering on this now that can do some cool stuff. Then what we can also do, I'm just going to be lazy with this one, is just boost, notch, that's a bit much, boost, notch, whatever, something kind of like that. We'll send this through here, and I'm just going to let that do its own thing. I don't really care. Let that go. I'm going to set this to be here. There we go. Throw some saturator on there. Mess around with that. And basically, we're just going to work this until it either sounds cool or it goes too far. Sick. And the whole point of this is to try to get this to a means of where we're getting a lot of variety of sound. And the reason why that's significant is because, let's go like 7. Finding hooks and stuff can be sometimes pretty annoying. And so I'm going to try to just give myself like as much material to work with as possible, so that way we can kind of get to the interesting bits. We're going to go ahead and randomize this. Oh, okay. Okay, so one thing that I'm going to do is grab some compression on this onto the outside here. And we're just going to kind of keep that relatively low, fast attack, long release. That's pretty cool. So there's some stuff that we can do with this that could be fun as well. So for one, we can randomize the phase of this. 2, we can randomize the frame of this. 3, we can grab another one of these and actually randomize the triggering of this, which could be kind of cool. We'll set this to be kind of fast. But you see that whenever this triggers, auto always retrigger from no on. This was going to kind of jump around and do weird stuff to where it's not just going to be like one melody. And that could be kind of cool. Now the other thing that I want to do is probably drag this down and utilize an envelope here to start off with something like this. We're going to set this at 100%. And what we'll do is utilize some more randomization here in order to turn on the decay. Then we'll also turn up the sustain. Actually, if we do the sustain, then we'll also do some release. That's a lot. Cool. That's some cool stuff right there. Let's make this a little bit more interesting. So what I'm also going to do is, for funsies, we are going to have one of these guys here. And I'm going to turn this down. I'm going to set this at 100%. And this is kind of where I'm going in future packs because I think 72. And then we can mix between that and this guy. So to go all the way down. Maybe we need this to be at 47% or 48% rather. There we go. We can set this to be bipolar. So now we're here. Okay, that is too much. Need this to be about here. Okay, no, we don't want this to be bipolar. There we go. So now we can say oscillator versus grain. And what I can do with this is I've got a bunch of these here that I'm going to include. Where is this? A bunch of C samples in here that we can kind of just cycle through and do random stuff, which is nice. Now I'm going to add another random here, and we're just going to jump back and forth between this. Turn on the chord, set this to octave. Mess with the feedback here so that way we can get some other interesting stuff. And then I am going to, set this at a dual delay instead. So the reason why you would want to use a dual delay instead of a regular one is because this actually doesn't jump in pitch whenever you change the timing of it. It's got a very natural flow, which is good. Whereas with the regular delay, it'll pitch jump, and sometimes that can be useful, sometimes not. So that's something to kind of consider. That's pretty crazy. You ordered a fader Fox? Is that the one, excuse me, with the encoders? Or is that the one with the actual, like, 0 to 100 knobs? Okay. So now what we're going to do is turn down, or turn this on, kind of like so. And we'll leave this on. This one's going to go down. This one's going to go up. And so what we can do is scale V random. I'm going to set this to 24. pretty sick. I'm gonna turn that up, set that to here, set this to always retrigger from no on. Got entranced by my sound design, was gonna ask if non-completed tracks from your 30-day challenge can be set and sit in Discord. Yeah, you could just go to share your own music. Kind of all in one and grouping, so if I want, you can map over 200 parameters. It's a lot. Pretty cool. So I'm actually going to hit undo here. One thing that I'm going to do is turn this down for now. And we can map that to table random in case if we just want it to be consistent. Sick. So, hey, I have a public service announcement actually. If you have Bitwig and you see a C right here, in case if you hadn't seen the video that I just put up, this is a Q. And I was like, whenever Bitwig updated, I was like, what the hell is this? And then it wasn't until someone named Leo in the chat or in the channel was like, yo, did you try setting it to exclusive solo? And so if you do this to where you turn off solo as Q, then what this will do is allow you to have soloed stuff whenever you're trying to work on like rolling sampler or something. Because if you have it set as C, then all of the audio is still going to go through to the end, which is really frustrating because you can't get a good reading for your level, so you'd have to mute everything else. So if I were you, I would right click, turn this off, turn this on. Actually, I don't even think that we need that. Yeah, just turn both of those off. And so that way you can solo that stuff and get rolling sampler to work, and also everything on your master channel to work as intended. This is not a setting that is available in behavior, or sorry, in audio or recording, whatever. There is something on here that says solo exclusive. I think it's right here or something, exclusive solo, but this has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. So thanks, Leo. I appreciate it. Hopefully that's helpful to somebody out there. So yeah, we've got all this like weird sound now, and what we can do with it is kind of run it through some other parameters and whatnot to try to find something interesting. Okay, that's actually kind of cool. So let's figure out what that is, because I don't know what key that's in. What is this? So that's okay. Let me grab an 808, or actually just a sine wave with some distortion. We will turn it into an 808, but I want to see if I can match that. Yeah, sweet. So we have a bass line now, right? So boom, 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 yes, yes, 100%. This is going to be sick. This is why we do modular. So we're going to create a note right here, which is right after 2. If anybody likes Ivy Lab. We still need like another thing right here though, so maybe like a You know, some kind of answer to that. So sick. All right. So now what I'm going to do is let's design this into an 808. Very simple. We're going to go like this. We're going to turn this down by quite a bit. Change this to saturate, turn the transient shaper on. And then my favorite way to do this as of late is kind of just take turns with filtering and distortion, because what ends up happening is like through small amounts of like, or harsh cutting, but then lots of distortion, you'll end up making a thicker sound. But we don't really want that much. There we go. And then we're going to do an even faster one here just off of the peak. Nice. And then we can do one more. It might be wiser to use a curve right here, but it's okay. We'll just figure out what we can do from there. But that way it's got a little bit of a thump to it. And then one check that I always do is making sure that our fundamental is higher than our third harmonic. So this is okay, but what happens if we add another shaper table? Yeah, you see how much thicker that makes that? Listen. So sick. Now what we can do is set the polyphony to 1, turn the legato on, turn the glide on, set this to glide, and then cool. Oh, sorry, one more thing that I forgot. We're gonna use a hold on this and turn this down, kind of like so. So that way we've actually got a real 808. One thing that I've learned with this kind of music is if you are trying to create something that's, you know, like half-timey and stuff, it doesn't always work, but it's super useful in a lot of cases to pull off of the sustain, because it'll help add dynamics to your track. And if it's just like F, 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 then it can be kind of stupid. So, which you can do whatever you want, but I tend to try to do things that are going to be helpful to me in figuring out what I want to do. So. Okay, now we are ready for other stuff, which is kind of sick. What I can actually do on this is, now that we actually have established a key, which we're going to go with like what, E harmonic minor, I believe, since we have both E and D sharp in this. We could turn the phase plant thing back on, and instead of doing randomness on this with the remap and stuff, wherever this is going, we can actually just set this now to turn that off, and then just start hitting E. And we can kind of play along with just half note intervals. So for example, we can take this, which is really nice, and toss this into a sampler, set this to E, like E2, and now we actually have a pluck that we can utilize. Subscribe to Alckemy's channel. Let me just double check that this is actually in key. But yeah, you can get some pretty sick stuff like that. So what happens if I set this to B4? Because that's actually what this is telling me that the bass root note is, so B1. It's a little bit off, but that's okay. So we'll go with that. Even though there's a lower harmonic here, the most prominent one is that 7th right there, or sorry, that 5th. And so my guess is that what happened is on this we have the pitch shifter, which is a 5th. So that's most likely why that's doing that. We can also play with some chords. What would be an E harmonic or an E harmonic minor chord? Different synths in parallel. I don't see this very often. I only see things like synaptic morph. Well, yes and no. So, like, if you look at this, take this away. There's this wavetable synth, but then there's also this granular synth. And what this is doing is fading in between both of these. And even though they're being sent into the same channel, they're kind of flip-flopping back and forth in between. And what's it called? This is kind of going from a true waveform to a sample. And so, like, yes, but no. Good questions. I like questions. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the perk maker. Is this what I want? Yes. You need to set the note length on here a little bit longer. Oh, never mind. Okay. So there's some cool stuff in there, but it's not quite what I was hoping for. So what I'm going to do is make one from scratch. I'm not going to explain this part because otherwise that would defeat the whole purpose of putting a masterclass out. Does anybody have any questions up until this point, though? Yo, Michael, what's up, dude? Wait. Do 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 do. Yoink. Needs to be bipolar. A little bit more of that. A little bit of that. A little bit of that. Huh. Cool. I am going to cheat. Use a little bit of this. There's our kick. And there's our clap. Where did that go? That is all we need, my friends. All right, now for the process. No, I'm just kidding. Did you all have a good weekend? Bueller. Bueller. There's our kick. Let's make a clap. Have I played the Elden Ring DLC? Currently playing the base game. Have slept on it for years. I've played the base game. I have not played the DLC, but I want to. I'm probably gonna wait until it goes on sale though. To be honest with you, I got a lot of bills to pay right now, so I'm gonna try to not spend so much money on stuff, which I have been buying dumb shit by all means, but I'm gonna try to not buy dumb shit. It's like that one, have you guys seen that one meme lady? Stop buying dumb shit. It's like, lady, you don't understand. That Yu-Gi-Oh deck isn't gonna build itself. Alright, so we're gonna copy all of this, paste. Let's move this down just a little bit. There we go. That sounds all kinds of messed up. Well, that's why it sounds messed up. What the... I don't want all that other shit. Sick. Okay. Need a vocoder. Can I get a thumbs up on the video for how fast I'm flying through this shit? There's your rim shots. It is now in my way. We still need something that's going to have a transient in it, though, so... So what I'm going to do on this is try to separate this, because this has a really long tail. So if I can find a way to kind of make all of these not interfere with each other. There we go. Let's move that out of the way. Now we got a clap. Now, what is that first key? Cool. So let's grab some percussion now. Huh. That's kind of funny, actually. We might even be able to use that at some point. What does it sound like if we pitch that up? I should too. Sometimes, yeah, not easy to. Yeah, totally. Okay, so we're gonna go back to this now and solo that. We're gonna turn this back on. Just get some random shit out of it. Okay, very quickly, I found another clap layer that sounds really good, so we're going to throw that in there. No, wait. So what we can do with that guy is go into the pork here, and then every other clap or so, we can kind of toss that in there and just EQ that out. We're going to put this up here. Pull that out, grab this guy. And then what we could do to make this kind of cool is grab another mid-side here and just make that super wide and see if there's something cool that we can do with like a convolution reverb or something. Maybe not too big. Real halls, sure. Moses Chapel. Nice. Cool. Cool, man. We're getting some cool shit out of this. Some other cool things that I found within this. So we're going to toss that in there and see if any of that fits. And then what I'm going to do is turn this off for a sec. Ooh, okay. Now this... So that needs to be 2 over. Let's go repitch. Move that over. There we go. Something like that. Control all of these, right click, hit Command J, then go normalize. Sorry, I'm trying to narrate everything that I'm doing, but if I'm not talking much, that's because I'm like kind of just in the zone. But if anybody has any questions, you're more than welcome to ask me. Cool. So we've got an intro. Turn that off. Cool, let's listen to some of this other stuff, see if we can get some other interactions. That's kind of cool. We can grab this in repitch mode. And we can duplicate this. Grab this. Make that super late. I do want that to swing just a little bit more. So maybe right there, so. We're gonna leave a space right there for a fill. Now what I want to do is see if we can go back into the normal phase plant thing, because like we have this melody, which is really cool, but I want there to be some kind of complement to man, tell me about it. 30 hours a week, bro. Or ma'am, or they. 30 hours a week. 10 years, 30 hours a week for 10 years will get you exactly where you want to be. But I still get stuck, so. So what happens if, also lots of lessons. I would say, like, if you have a mentor or like if you have a favorite artist, reach out to them and be like, yo, do you offer lessons and can I pay you for it? That's really cool. And that's kind of like the main call of this. So what if I took this and did some kind of like, I don't know, like Big Sky or something. Yeah. All right. Okay, so this is pretty cool. It's also way too loud. Let's see if we can pull anything else out of this. That's so cool. All right. So now what I'll do is solo the drums. me turn this down. Okay. Cool. Cool. So we can grab some of that, toss that in here, pull this back up, grab all of these, Command G, off, boom. We got that to work with now. We can toss that in there, turn this back up. And we can kind of just pick some stuff from here to see if we can start working with it and just see what it sounds like. Let's turn that down a bit. Maybe stretch that out. Just listening for other stuff, maybe. Okay, so that's really cool. So we can kind of put that right there. And what we're going to do now is we're going to force a hi-hat because I don't have any hats in here that I've heard so far. So we're going to take something that's nice and short, maybe something like this. No. Actually, we might be able to make that work. Why isn't that doing the thing though? Oh, that's why. That's not making any sound. Okay, that'll work. So we'll take this and move this over here. I'm gonna go Command B. Then repitch. That's fine. We're just gonna pretty much turn this completely into noise. We could leave it at that if we wanted to, but I'm gonna do a little bit more. Let's grab a hat. Group that. Almost. There we go. Fuse compressor. See if we can make that into something that is going to be a little bit brighter. Okay, not bad. I need a transient shaper though that we're going to put beforehand and just reduce the transient. And then what we can also do is grab a frequency shifter and move this up. We can also do an EQ. Use Pro Q on this. Now, this white noise layer is not really giving me everything that I want, so we're going to see if we can pull out a little bit more from this. So That's interesting. What happens if we move the frequency shifter beforehand? Nothing. There we go. Ah, okay. So now we can create a rhythm with this, make sure that's in pork, and I don't know what I want to do yet, but we can create some kind of rhythm with this. Ooh, okay. Kind of like where that was. Now we could create a call and response with this. Make this one a little bit late. Make this one a little bit late. Duplicate. See what that sounds like. Cool. That kind of slappies. So I mean, this is kind of the backbone or the genesis of the beat of what that's about. Now what we can maybe do is experiment with some sounds that could be used as fills. So we could like neurofy this if we wanted to, but I don't know. We'll see if I can get something else that might be a little bit more interesting. That was actually really cool. Shit. Okay. Maybe for this section. That's pretty cool. Just different things that we can add. What I really want to do is play with subtlety on this for just the kind of track that this is. That's fucking sick. Okay. All this stuff seems useful. Ooh. Doot doot. I think that needs to be probably there. Almost. Maybe a little bit late. That's so cool. That's, yeah, sick. I guess we're going funk now. No, just kidding. Kind of curious as to if we can make something that is kind of... Okay, so I'm going to try something. Maybe an LFO. Set this to ramp. I really don't want that to be... Yeah. And maybe what we can do is set this to the positioning here. But maybe set this to like a quarter note. Okay. Oh, that's why. I was like, what? That sounds terrible. Yo, long time to see, Levi. What's up, dude? That's pretty cool. I'm doing good, man. I just put out a new course and just kind of walking everybody through some of the tricks and stuff that I teach in that course. And, you know, just kind of having fun. Hey, what's up, Autosad? Okay, so I like some of this, but I think I'm gonna go for a consistent rhythm. So probably that one right there. Because I want it to be like... So like... Probably that. Let's see if we can get that to go and play nicely. Just a little bit late. There we go. Up by 12. Now, something that I think would be cool is we need to emphasize this part right here to where it goes. So what we can do is maybe grab this guy, move that here, put it right there, reverse it, see what that sounds like. Oh God. That's actually not terrible. We just need to... Wrong one. Okay, so what happens if I move this a little bit later now? Because I want there to be like an interaction right here where it's like... So... Yeah, that's not bad. Cool. A little bit of progression there, so each of these parts should be like twice as long, I'd say. But then it would be cool to do like a bigger kick or something like that. So maybe like a... So we can do kind of just like a little bridge right there. But I would like these kicks to be a little bit more weighty. And so what I'm going to do is really try to emphasize some short reverb on them to give them more of an impact. So what we'll do is we'll grab something, probably just another... I'll just do this. So I'll go Command B and then go in here. Yeah. And then drag this in here so that way we have its own layer. Oh shit. Okay. It's like, nah. Then we can use a filter plus. Just focus on this for now. Whoa. Okay. Not exactly what I wanted, but it's not the end of the world. There we go. Some kind of like that. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool. That's kind of cool. Yeah. There's some textural sounds in here that we can kind of like pseudo-neuro. So let me find out. I think it's like some of the stuff in here, so yeah, things like that. And then maybe what I can do is put that one right here, right before that last sound. And so what I'll do that could be cool. Sorry, I'm thinking. Okay, so what we're going to do on this is, for one, grab a filter. Make it pretty loud. Grab some saturation. This is going to take a while, but it's okay. Actually, it should not take a while, but... Let's go effects 3. A little bit of chorus on the mids. A little bit of phaser on the mids. A little bit of flanger on the mids. Then we'll grab an EQ plus. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to use our replacer trick. Go like this. Go like that. Mute. 100%. Kind of sucks that we have to do that, but it's okay. We're going to turn these off. Segments. I don't know, something like that. And we are going to map these to a frequency range here to where we move that up, move that down, move that up, move that down, move that up. I don't know what that's going to do, but hopefully something cool. Oh, we need the audio or note receiver. BB. Can I copy this? No. Yes, I can. I just have to do this. Copy. Paste. I don't really even care that this doesn't have a ton of low in it, because it's not really meant to be like that. It's just supposed to be something that sounds kind of... Yeah, just something that sounds kind of phasey like that, so... Whatever, let's just see what it sounds like. Pretty cool. What is... Where's all that low end coming from? Hmm. I really like that sound. It's just, it's a square wave obviously, but I think it's really cool. Maybe we can kind of make it a little bit bigger. What is encabulator? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I still wanted to like have a presence. Yeah, that's a cool little riff. So let's go ahead and do a quick arrangement of this. Boom. We're gonna spread this out. Kind of like so. Just kind of double this up. Then we can go back here. Whatever this is, we can move it out of the way. Boom, gada bang, gada bing, gada bang, gada boom. Is this correct? 1, 2, 3, 4. Get your woman on the floor. Okay. So we can create tension right there, but on this one we can go boom, boom. See what that sounds like. Do do. Where did that go? Okay, transition right here. What the fuck? Hmm. Hey, Tab. Cool. So now, like, with all this other stuff, we can kind of get into adding, like, other external sounds and effects and whatnot. What I'm going to do here in a bit is probably do some resampling and see if I can just get this to, like, have some other elements. But one thing that I do want to shoehorn in here, which is probably going to end up ruining the sound, but whatever, is switching up the snare and trying to create a little bit more movement with this. But I need to reference some Ivy Lab tunes to get what I'm looking for. But yeah, does anybody have any questions about anything? Are there any questions? Moldy pumpkin is the way. All right, that needs a little bit of love. Boom, boom. How do I get my stuff to sound so loud? Clipping. Yeah, clipping. Also, there's like hardly any element. There's not very many tracks going on within this. Okay, so that sounds pretty cool, but since we did ourselves the favor of whatever this, oh no, that's our sub. We did ourselves the favor of this thing. Where is it? This thing? Yeah. We can save this as masterclass demo. I'm going to put this in Requiem 3, but if you are an Arcanum member, I'm going to give this to you after the stream, which, thank you. Thank you for being somebody to support my endeavors of all this stuff that I stumble through. I really appreciate it. But since we have that, we can close this and we can actually toss this onto this guy. Make the tools work for you. Make the tools work for you. Masterclass demo. It's at 100%, 100%. And now we can see if this is going to give us anything kind of similar, but also cool. So. Oh, one thing that we do need to do on this is we need to reset the mono compatibility because that's going to ruin it. That's actually really cool. So what I'm going to do with that is we're going to use that for our intro here because that sounded awesome. Let me solo this. All right, we are going to take off that transient right there. But aside from that, we can kind of use this in reverse. Come on. And grab a filter here. Just the high pass. Start climbing this up all the way to like 2K, maybe like 3K. Drop it. Turn it off. There we go. That sounds pretty cool. So what would be kind of cool on this is Is it on this guy? Yeah, okay. Turn it on right there. Change this to bandpass and start to just play with what happens when we kind of bring it back, kind of like that. So. Cool. So we have a two-part arrangement, which is not all that exciting, but it is a beat, and I'm pretty happy with that. It does have a beginning, a middle, and an end, which is kind of cool. But, yeah. Any questions? I'm gonna unlink this, move this over here, so that way we've got actual 8 bars. Turn that back on. I'm gonna grab this, which I'm gonna grab the percussion here. Cool. Now what we can do is just create a new audio track. Take that whole file, toss it right there. Cool. So we got, it still needs a lot of like tweaking and a lot of details and stuff, but as a means of having two sections and then like a B-ish section or whatever, it's listenable from beginning to end. Um, cool. Does anybody have any questions about anything? What I wanted to do today was demonstrate, a lot of the techniques and whatnot that I teach within the masterclass that I just put out on alchemy.com. It's already up. I'll be linking this video to the description. But yeah, if you want to figure out how to make drums like this, if you want to figure out how to basically turn anything into whatever kind of sound you want in the world of drums, I feel like this is a great resource. It pretty much costs 2 private lessons with me, which is $80. And yeah, I believe in my product. That's like one thing that I'm like, I haven't really been happy with any of the music that I've been making lately, but the one thing that I have been like happy with and like proud of is just the drums that I've been making. I would say like that has surpassed like my neuro bass stuff, and I feel like drums is really what I spend most of my time on. And yeah, I've got a lot to show for it. And it's cool to kind of help you all see what I just did and let it unfold, candidly, so that way you guys can see like where I'm coming from. But yeah, and then if you don't want to take the masterclass, I have a bunch of drums like this for 20 bucks on my website called Abyss, which has like over 900 samples, just like over 150 something claps, or like, wait, like 300 claps and snares, 150 kicks and shit. I'm just kind of a factory at this point of making drums. But yeah, I'd like to reserve some space to see if anybody has any questions about anything, or if I can be helpful, or I don't know. Just I know the chat's been dead, so I'm just trying to keep it alive and talk to somebody. Somebody, anybody. Yeah. It's not the most like neurobassy beat, but it's cool. Sounds all right. I like the drums. Do the questions have to be related to the class? No, because this wasn't even a class. This was a demonstration. The class is for sale on the website. It's easy to get entranced by my music making. Yeah, I understand. That was sick, by the way. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. No, you can ask me any questions. Maybe just try to avoid offensive questions if possible. I will also ask you all, if possible, like, guys, if this class isn't for you, or this course rather isn't for you, that's totally fine. But if you enjoyed anything that I did today, like, could I get you guys to like the video, maybe share it with somebody? Like, if you guys know somebody that's like, man, I wish that my drums could be better, like, could you refer them my class? I've realized that I hate fucking saying this, but the only way that I'm going to grow as of now is to rely on word of mouth and to rely on you all to help keep me within the algorithm. So like it's more important than ever to try to advocate that and to pull any kind of favors if I have any to pull to get you all to help me represent what I'm about. I hate doing that because it just feels disingenuous, but at the same time I've realized that it's like shit, I don't have a choice. Composition is king. I bought a pretty complete sample pack, but still have a hard time. Any compositional exercises? Yes. Well, it depends. It's like where in your composition are you struggling, you know? Yeah, even liking and copying the link, sharing it in another Discord, like something like that. That's so helpful. Like if you all also have any kind of incentive as well that we can come up with together, like I don't know, like share my shit. I'll give you a 5% discount. I don't know. I'm willing to do that because I'm not going to lie, I need some help. So, both the initial idea and changing energy levels. So, I think the most important thing with the beginning is trying to find a hook. I find that if I only start with the drums, it's really hard for me to find something to go with it. That has been like that's my biggest challenge, is if I cannot get to a hook, then a lot of times I just end up making a drum beat and then I'm like, ah, I hate this. So what I did, I don't know how long you've been here, but at the beginning of this composition, something that worked for me was I started doing something modular, and just started designing something that stayed in key. And I didn't really care about what the sounds were. I didn't really care about anything else other than, hey, I'm trying to just get stuff that sounds kind of tonal, that sounds kind of different. And we kind of found this riff by accident, which I thought was like, it was really inspiring at the very beginning. And we just ended up making a loop out of that, you know, but all of the musical stuff is just from a modular jam. And I think going forward, that's kind of what I'm going to go back to help myself create music and shit, because that's honestly my biggest challenge. And like, it's hard because I don't like writing conventional MIDI and conventional like melodies and stuff, because I want it to sound different. I want it to sound, hey, okay, good to see you, bro. I want it to sound something that seems otherworldly. And the only way that I found success within that is really getting down and dirty with the modular jam, but with a couple of restrictions. When it comes into changing the energy levels, you know, I think that the best thing that you can think about is contrast, right? So if you've got a beat that's really hard and you want to change the energy, then, you know, you need to think about dynamics. You need to think about frequency range. You also need to think about what elements are shining and how you can pull it down. Like one of the most common things people do in like lo-fi and stuff is they'll play 8 bars and then they'll do another 8 bars with a filter that's slowly climbing up because it brings the energy down, and it kind of like it makes the vibe deeper. You know what I mean? Because you're having to listen harder to the stuff that was taken away, but you kind of hear it coming back, and it like creates this very pleasing anticipation. But really, when it comes into like energy levels and stuff, I try to do all that within the main sections that I have. And my favorite way to do that, just listen to a bunch of chi, is like try to find ways to switch up the snare or switch up the groove. And groove is king, composition is king, but like one of the best ways to get to the compositional like prowess is by just having a sick fucking groove. And so I know that I put like a kick and snare down on the 1 and 2, but after that, like I went full on with the percussion on this, because that's really what helped define like the rhythm of this, you know? So and I was just trying to find other stuff that was like really enhancing this as much as possible. So that way when we got to these guys, like the ghost kicks and snares and, you know, accents and whatnot, it helps create a more comprehensive vibe. Yeah, so, you know, there's that. I don't have much to add, but thanks for the looking glass and the sound design. I'm too new to this to benefit from classes right now, I think. Yeah, and that's fine. It'll always be there, you know, as long as my website exists, I guess. And take what you can from this stream, you know. I mean, I've been doing this on stream, the exact same process and stuff for what, a year or two now. And can't seem to move forward. Well, first of all, stop trying to copy Beaver Fever. Like that's your biggest issue, is like you're copying directly from Beaver Fever. But yeah, it's possibly I can try. I don't know if that would be helpful though. Copying, trying to learn. Yeah, even still, like I did that on a couple of things. Like I copied one beat from Chi and I've already forgotten it. Yo, Gloom, what's up, bro? Hold on one second. I copied one beat from Chi that he sent me a long time ago. Yeah, Spoiled Milk remake, which just has this really but I've never made another beat like that. And I've never pulled this up and tried to make an actual beat like this, because like it's to him. Like this stuff with this interaction, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's to him. I can't, like, it's a little bit too hard of a bite. But when it comes into this and stuff, it's the relationship and what I've learned from this that I'm taking into account with the other stuff, which goes back into the same stuff that we've covered in a lesson before, which is getting the rhythm right. And sometimes you just got to spend time with it, which is really what I think you should be looking at. If you can't get it right, it's probably because your rhythm is not playing nicely together. You know what I mean? This is a hunch, and I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but that's my guess. Because if you can't get the vibe, you know, and sometimes that problem solving is good to reflect on as well, of like where, like what is the vibe that you're going to and whatnot. But I think that my goal is to try to understand the energy changes. I learned guitar by tabs. Now I can write my own guitar pieces. I'm trying to mimic that process. Is that holding me back? Well, yes, I think so. And the reason why is because like guitar has so much academia behind it, like just formally speaking. And this is exactly, actually this is a great point. This is exactly why I try not to write riffs and stuff that are formulaic or like academically musical or something, because what ends up happening is you kind of like have a certain approach to music that you think that you can use in order to create something. And for me to be able to understand halftime, you like, have you all noticed that I don't actually own a keyboard anymore? I don't actually own like a MIDI keyboard. Like I do have, I guess I do have a MIDI controller, but you very rarely see me use that. That's because I choose to think of everything like piano, and I used to make melodies and stuff from a piano standpoint, and that started fucking me up. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So like you kind of have to step outside of those boundaries. Guitar Hero riffs only. You have to like step out of those boundaries. Like one of which he's gonna come on the channel at some point, but like a really awesome song to listen to that's relevant is one that I just shared recently, which is what's it called? Share others music. Sorza. The Science. This one is really cool, but also Does It Hurt Me from Sorza. I'll find it and send you all a link. Actually, I'll just do it now. But listen to the melody of it. It's like it's not even a melody. It's like some shit that you can't even really make out. And I love that because it's different. But with the arrangement and with the way that like there is this interaction, and I think that's the big key is the interaction behind sounds and stuff. That is why a lot of people struggle with this genre, I believe. And if anybody, you know, feels different about it, you're more than welcome to contest it, but that's just my personal opinion and this is like what I've learned through my own experience. But yeah, it's like in the way that Chi writes music, because I know this because I've taken lessons with him, is like he's all modular. He'll literally set up some kind of modular device very similarly to what I've done and just fuck around with something that's kind of in key and find different textures and things that are moving with each other. He does things differently than I do, but I still like have taken like the key notes of how he works and try to incorporate that with the choices that I make. Obviously, he does it 10 times better, and I would say if anybody gets the chance to do a lesson with Chi, please just pay him the fucking money because he deserves it. Also, Cage is another person to take lessons from. I have taken so, I have taken so many lessons from Cage. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and this isn't all of them, but these are just what within the past year. So if we look at like my artist tips, and these are all the people that I've taken lessons from. Let me see. Untitled folder. Let me see here. Backup stuff. Where are you at, Cage? Lessons. Who's this with? Look at this. I have done so many lessons with this guy. Go to him. If I don't work for you, go to him. Not really a neuro guy, just like watching artisans at work to see what's possible. I mean, well, for me, like halftime and neuro is okay if it's not your thing, but like all of this stems from hip hop. So if you like hip hop, you have something to benefit from. If you don't like the music that I make, that's one thing, but if you kind of try to if you do kind of like what it is that I'm doing, there's a lot to be pulled from whatever it is that you're trying to apply it to, because at a certain point, if you're making electronic music that is like beat focused, you're doing the same shit. You're just moving clips around. You know what I mean? I've also done Nolan's what do I always do, what do I never do, and what do I suck at, and have only been successful in creating something. I freeze. I get to a point before completing a track and just freeze and at a loss of how to unfreeze. I think you need to simplify. If you're freezing, then you need to simplify and make like, yeah, for one, decide recklessly, but two, like simplify your songs and make them very simple and go back and figure out what do you like about it, what don't you like about it. Uh yeah, sorry, you didn't say that. Only successful ones. I mean, even for me, I recently did a lesson with him and he was trying to tell me to like basically make all the decisions that Gloom was saying, and I've had a hard time too, but like Nolan is so specific in how he works. Not specific, but he how do I say this? Like I mean this in the highest regard. I believe that like Nolan has found some kind of enlightenment with his production. Like he still struggles, don't get me wrong, but when it comes into like how he works and how he enjoys his process, if you all haven't seen, go watch Frequent. He's got plenty of videos on his YouTube channel about him just candidly working. He just he like falls in love with what he does and he enjoys every single bit of it. And that is very hard to decide to do. But every time I watch him, he's just like sitting on a single sound for hours and still laughing at it. And it's pretty profound and makes a lot of points because for me, like, I don't like wasting time. You know what I mean? But EDM versus hip hop is a huge difference in choosing genre to learn first. It's important to only stick to that till you learn the basics. I think it depends. Yeah, I mean, he is like one of the biggest heads of neurohop, right? So he kind of was the neurohop guy for a while. I'm more of an experimental industrial techno sort of guy. You could say I'm more of a synthesizing nerd rather than producer, I guess, and my content definitely tickles some experimental nerves. Yeah, I would say if you get the chance, check out all of my IDM stuff because I've got plenty of like halftime is my favorite genre, but I have lots of like hyper glitch, just IDM, very glitch focused music in the first place. Um, I don't know. I'm sure that I've got something that can help you. But even still, like the approach to making drums and all that other stuff, it doesn't change. It's just what kind of aesthetic do you want? But it's really about learning about transients and stuff. That's another thing he says, just create. And the worst that happens is you make something that makes you laugh. Bro, I wish I could laugh when I made something bad. I have a hard time not taking my beat so hard. Well, that's why we have stuff like in my Discord, um, like this. Actually, Gloom just posted a few, which you should go check out, but like purposefully make bad shit. Make bad stuff on purpose. Where is this? Collab show, sample pack. Where are the trash beats? Wait, what? Doo-doo posting. Post your trash beats here. Look. Go listen to these and just like have a heyday and purposefully make bad stuff. Do it on purpose. I kept forgetting to like your vids. I got an auto liker Chrome extension now, so after 1 minute it likes. Dude, that's so cool. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. The stream helped a lot. It made you break out of a loop you've been working on just by seeing how I play around with the arrangement and stuff. Yeah, resampling. If you have a good idea, like resampling is usually a great way to get out of it. Yeah, hashtag post your trash beats. Think of it as a process and you're just one of many gears. Yeah, I think all that's good advice. Um, so yeah, I'm more than happy to cover that stuff in a lesson or to take a look at what you're doing specifically. But I think that for you, it's just mindset, you know, like you know how to make music, so go and make music. I mean, even today, like I don't think that I made anything that was incredible and groundbreaking, and probably that's one of the like that's one of the hard things that I have had to swallow is I feel like I'm not an innovator when it comes to actually making tracks. I feel like I'm very what did Zane say? He said it really profound and it was kind of sad, but kind of like I understood where he was coming from. I disagree with him, but I think it applies more so to me. But he was like, I'm not a great musician. I'm just acquired a lot of skills. And I feel like my beats reflect that. You know, there's my beats have a lot of skill. Yeah, have a lot of skill behind them. But one of the hardest things that I haven't been able to do was to try to innovate on the things that I'm working on. But even still, like I still had fun, you know. And that's part of why I like streaming so much, is because I can just go live and just, make some shit. And even though the last few months have been kind of rough from a creative standpoint, like, you guys have seen me make my best stuff on stream. Maybe try streaming. Try streaming and like be accountable, where like you have to show up and like make decisions, and your goal is to make a beginning, middle, and end by the end of the video or by the end of the stream, and see what happens. It doesn't matter if there's one person there or nobody watches. You know what I'm saying? Just like different challenges and stuff to try to get yourself to get the ball rolling. I noticed that when I don't stream, my music suffered quite a bit. And so now that I'm kind of coming back to it, I'm like getting back in the zone again. And I think that these tracks are just building up to what my next thing is going to be, which is a lot of fun. But you kind of just, you got to keep making tunes. Yeah, you could write a theme to an image. I had this idea because you guys know that I've picked up Yu-Gi-Oh recently, to where like you can pick a card. Like, I'm staring at one right now. It says Mimi Ghoul Dungeon. Like, look up a Yu-Gi-Oh card and take the title of that and make a song about that. Or, you know, write down a prompt, an AI prompt, but then you have to like musically narrate it. You know what I mean? Scenes, all that different kinds of stuff. Like, there's so many ways to look at it. Really what it is you're just in your own head. You're not happy with where you are as a means of production. And the only way out is to fucking relax and to chill out. To chill out and go back to having fun. I'll tell you right now, that is the only way that you are going to get out of this, is to chill out and figure out how to have fun again. It is so hard, dude. It is so hard. It is so hard. The zone plus a great wall to bounce ideas and thoughts is a good place to be at any point in life. Yeah. But like, also like, for one, be kind to yourself, but setting yourself up for success. That is my goal with these streams. I don't know if you all have realized this or not, but I have a beginning, I have a middle, and an end. I was successful today. Today, my goal was, can I make a beat using the skills that I teach in this masterclass that I have, and do it in a means that is, going to be somewhat listenable, somewhat enjoyable. And yeah, I did that. Is this my best work? No, but I like what I made. It's cool, I wouldn't be like, yo, I'm Alckemy, check this track out. But like, fuck, like, you're only as good as you are in the moment. And I don't know why, but I just have a kick out of like being in the moment with a bunch of people that are watching me, which, thank you all for coming to hang out, by the way. I really appreciate it. That means a lot that you guys choose to spend your time with me. I hope you know that I don't take that lightly. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you kind of just got to get moving. And sometimes like it sucks, but if you know that like whatever you're making sucks, just be like, okay, I'm going to make something shitty today. And tell yourself that you're going to make something shitty, but you're going to, have fun. And figure out what the bare minimum requirement is for you to make something that you can listen to. What does that constitute? A beginning, a middle, and end. I've been saying this on stream. I've been saying this in my videos for like, 2 years now? You got to speed run the arrangement. Just get to the arrangement. Yeah, post on critique and request. Like, get involved with the community. Get out of your own head. That is unfortunately, nobody can do that for you, which sucks. But that is the mantra, is get out of your own head. You must. If you wish to like move on and have fun with shit, like, you got to figure out how to get out of your own head. And boy, do I struggle with that in every single thing that I do creatively. Actually, there's one thing that I don't struggle with that, and that was when I was being raised in Jeet Kune Do and martial arts. And do you know why? It's because I had a teacher. You know what I mean? That was the only thing in my life that I had a dedicated teacher to, where I would show up to class and be taught. And when I was in class, I was learning a lot. And that is like the one thing. But when it comes into music, when it comes into tricking, when it comes into any kind of craft that I've had to teach myself, I run into these roadblocks all the time, because it's just me. You know what I mean? It's just me. And so I have to figure all this shit out. And eventually, like, what you'll start doing is relying on these other skills that you picked up in life in order to help you get through this shit. But like, just at a glance of the reality is that, unless if you have a teacher that's like, hey, do this, you know what I mean? It's really easy to get stuck. That's why almost every artist I know gets stuck. How do I do the placeholders best? How do I do the play? Wait, what? Hmm? I haven't made a beat that I truly like as of yet, but I'm learning something new with every project, and I'm quite content at this point. Yeah, dude, like you're at the fun at one of the funnest stages of music production. I think you said that you're just beginning and stuff, and that's where it is like usually the most fun because you don't have any expectation. You're just like fucking around and being like, "Oh, I made that." You know what I mean? And then you start getting a little bit of a groove and your ego starts playing into it, and then you're like, "Oh, I hate this shit." Um, it's just part of it. It's part of the artistic struggle. You're going to go through it. Everybody goes through it. You'll get out of it, or you'll go out of it, then you'll get back in. Like it is just, it is just, yeah, part of it. The placeholder beat, having sounds there to fill out the arrangement, then switching the sounds out later. Yeah, but go watch Audiation Part Two, Writing in Silence, or write your beat. You know that like this is not a sound. Pretend like it is, or pretend like it's not there, and you know that you want something there, so you just make a clip like this, and then you say, you know, something goes here. You know what I'm saying? That's how you just use placeholders. In the video, I just basically pull stuff from the pack. Dude, I've made so many videos now. I have to like, you guys have to tell me what it is that I'm referencing or what you're referencing sometimes. I apologize. But yeah, you could just do stuff like that. You can write a kick snare pattern in silence. You know what it's going to sound like at a certain point. If you're trying to do a rhythm, you can beatbox it. You can record on your phone of like different ideas that you have. I cannot tell you how useful it is to sit down, have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or a fucking cup of water, sit somewhere peaceful and just imagine beats in your head. And if you can't imagine a beat, sit down and just go snare, 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 and put yourself into a rhythm until you start coming up with something that you can add. And this is exactly how the audition process goes. And I think that drums are the easiest to do that. But once you have that and you start cultivating this, you are literally empowering yourself with ideas. Creativity, Corey said this the best. If you don't know Corey, that's my partner. She's awesome. But Corey said this the best. Your creativity does not come to you. Wait, don't leave yet. Your creativity does not come to you. You are a creative person. You are an abundance of creative energy. Just because you are creating stuff doesn't mean that you're going to make stuff that you like, but you need to continue cultivating it. And the more that you cultivate it, the more that you're just going to be in a state of creating. And if you resist it, even in the things that are good or bad or whatever, then you start doubting that abundance and you start replacing it with other nouns and things to where you're saying you're in a block. You get what I mean? You must you must practice it. It does not come to you. You have to go to it. And sometimes I get it. Sometimes shit's not working out, but that's why you have to do a reset and be like, all right, I'm going to focus my creative energy into something else, something that will work. Because again, you have to like embody this idea that you are a creative entity. You are always creating, whether you like it or not. So that's now you can go to bed. Creativity is infinite. You go to muse it the other way around. What? I feel like it could be a cognitive analysis and an analysis paralysis instead of feeling emotions accepting them. So maybe there is some overthinking and self-fulfilling prophecies too. Well, sometimes you don't have emotion to write with. Like the intention behind what you're wait. Yeah, be about it, and if you're about it, don't do it. What? I still don't get whatever. I said what I said. I said what I said. And I believe it. But yeah, it's there. It's there. You just got to turn it on and keep it on. Ride it. It'll be there. You know. Practice beat making, practice audiation, practice like singing in your head melodies or like weird compositional stuff, and turn the music off for a bit while you do this. Like dedicate separate time to where it is just you and your imagination. And that's really hard to, oh shit. That's really hard to do sometimes because you have this beat in your head or you have this expectation of this type of thing, or like you're really inspired by a song. But for me, like sometimes you just have to like not do that, because sometimes you get really drawn and you hover very close to it. You kind of have this like Icarus analogy of trying to get too close and then you're disappointed when it's not just like it, you know? Um, Also, I would say something that has been really helpful for me is I have been having a fucking blast making beats on patterning of just drums. Um, it's for the iPad. I just pulled up a review on it, and it's like my favorite beat sequencing app right now. And I love it because I can just do it on the couch. But if you have something like Koala Sampler, which should be available on everyone's phone if you have a phone. If you don't have a phone, then uh, I don't know. Fucking get a pen. Get a pen and pencil and start making beats on the table. Don't tell me you don't have that. If you don't have hands, because some people unfortunately have that, then fucking beatbox. There's always something you could do. Always something you could do. You just have to be willing to sit with it for a bit, and you have to be willing to cultivate it. So anyways, on that account, everyone, my course is available. It's 80 bucks. It's over 8 hours of content plus another 6 hours of a live stream, which is, I'm doing almost exactly like what I did here, except the track is close to being finished. It is my drum masterclass for Bitwig using only Bitwig devices, and I would love if you checked it out. Even if it's not for you, tell somebody about it. Please like this video, and yeah, thank you all for everything. I really appreciate it. Have an awesome rest of your evening. I will see you all tomorrow, I think. Sound good? And if you have questions, hit me up on the Discord. Bye, everybody. Much love. Much love.